Okay, hi parents, this is Coach John here from Learning Out of the Box, and thanks so much for watching. Yes, even though this is not live, because when both me and Eugene tried, we get the first three numbers of today's 4D number, 404 error. So you can go and
Yeah,
pick any number you want. It can be 4041, 4042, or whatever you want. Okay, so hello Eugene, thanks so much for coming back again.
no problem. My pleasure.
Yes. Yeah, because I think during the last session, you shared with us how to empower kids. Yeah,
Yeah,
then
be smart.
suddenly, smart kids, and
Mhm.
suddenly you shared that your PSLE score was 270 It's 20 more than me Yeah,
Uh,
so the parents like, okay, I think better change subject. We have to ask you how you did so well because I think
mm,
many parents will be very interested in your 武林秘籍, your secrets.
yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you mean
okay.
now start to share secret? Now?
Up to you lah. Or do you want it to be a secret forever?
No. I am Mr.
Share
Abundance.
lah,
I like to spread abundance. Yeah.
share lah.
The more kids succeed, the better.
mm,
So I would like to share the SMART approach. SMART.
mm,
Smart. Yeah. Don't study hard, study smart.
mm,
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't learn it from anyone. I just somehow I think God gave it to me. So
mm-hmm,
I studied smart lor, because
mm-hmm,
I played basketball a lot and I was in art class. I drew a lot. I was even selling comic characters like Spider-Man in class. Yeah, so I was very busy running a business in
wow.
primary 5 and 6. Yeah, so not much time to study. Yeah, so I think this smart approach is very important. Starting with S. Yeah, I mean whoever is watching now, please write down. So S would be scheduling. Scheduling.
Yes,
Yeah,
scheduling.
is actually a bit of a common sense. To even have to say it sometimes is a bit insulting. Yeah, but I realize a lot of people have blind spots in scheduling.
Mm-hmm,
Uh, okay, I give you a few possible mistakes. The mistake number one is they squeeze everything, right? They squeeze everything to like 1 week, 2 weeks. So obviously that's very lousy scheduling.
mm-hmm,
Imagine you go and build a building and then you don't do much until the last 1 week. I guarantee you the building out of shape or got safety problem. Yeah.
mm,
So we are supposed to schedule in a way that is practical, realistic, and not so stressful.
mm-hmm,
So I mean by now a bit too late if you're in primary 6, but if you're in primary 5 still, I think there's hope. Right, there
mm.
is one entire year to go, and if your December is holiday, you should learn to schedule such that you're doing maybe half an hour or 1 hour of work every day. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not just doing homework, but basically keeping your brain tuned to that kind of methods.
Mm.
And same lah. January come, February come. Whether COVID-19, no COVID-19, you should always schedule that. A bit like those bodybuilder, right? I mean, I'm not into bodybuilding, but you know people who are into Olympics or bodybuilding during COVID-19, they are still doing exercise at home. And then downstairs, right, I keep seeing this crazy guy every single day without fail. He's running around the car park. Yeah, I
Wow.
think he's going to take part in marathon or something.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is called scheduling.
Mm.
If we are serious about it, then we should schedule it in. It's the same case for anything in life, right? If you want to learn a skill like coding, then you need to schedule it in. If you want to score well for PSLE, you need to schedule it in. Anything that is not scheduled in is just building castle in the air.
Mm.
So a daily schedule should look like this, right? You come home from school, and then depending on what you like to do, and look at learning styles.
Mm-hmm.
So like your name is learning out of the box. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so have to think of creative method. If they don't like to study first, they whole day in school already, come home, maybe the first thing they want to do is play game. Then play
Mm-hmm.
game, no? Right? Who else you know to play game? Yeah, go and play game. Play 1 hour, or someone to sleep. Okay, sleep lah. Right? Take a nap, or watch TV, watch YouTube, whatever. Okay, so schedule in. But you cannot watch TV without scheduling in. You will end up watching until don't know what time, right? Or
Mm.
playing game without scheduling in.
Yeah.
You know, same as buffet. Like you cannot keep eating. Wow, then sure got heart problem. Yeah, so you need to know that, hey, today I want to take less carbs, take more veg, or take, you know, today is only durian dessert. I don't touch anything else. Yeah, so you need to really ration. We call it ration. So a 24-hour cycle, you decide, okay, 2 to 3:30, take a nap. You know, 3:30 to what? Take a snack. And then 4 to 6, study. And then dinner time, 6 to 7, you know, bond with family. 7 to 8, you know, maybe do homework or study some more. Yeah, so if you keep doing that and then tweaking along, see, hey, is it practical 4 to 6? You know, maybe 4 to 6 is the time I feel the most sleepy, or 4 to 6 has a very good. I think nobody watch TV nowadays. During my days, you know, like, 4 to 6 got show. So I better not study because it's very distracting to do my homework while thinking, there's a show, you know, Transformer is showing or Mars is showing. You know, so like go and watch lah. Who asked you to do homework at 4 to 6? Right? Be creative, learn out of the box. So that is scheduling. So that's a daily scheduling. Let's think about weekly scheduling, 7 days. Right? I remember I used to do this. You know, like the teacher gave me timetable for exam.
Yeah.
I say, oh, September this paper, October this paper, right? Then the first thing I do is not to study, right? The first thing I do is to, at that time I didn't know how to use Excel lah. So I take out a piece of paper and I start drawing lines. You know, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can imagine, right? Then I start writing like the dates. The most obvious date is the exam date, right? I start writing down. Right. Then I say, then work backwards. So maths exam is September the 5th. Then I work backwards. Then September 4th, the only thing I should do on that day is to keep revising my maths. Right. This is another common sense, but some people don't do it. And then September 3rd, what should I do? You know, maybe it should be science. Chapter 9. And then September 2nd, what should I do? You know, so I just work backwards like that until my entire piece of paper is filled up. But I always keep Sunday free. Okay. Firstly, because I was a Christian by the time.
Yep.
Yeah, 12 years old. And secondly, because I want to have a buffer. That means you never know, right? Suddenly fever, that day cannot study.
Yeah.
Then at least you have a buffer. Just like MRT tracks got a gap, right? Yeah, so that when it overheats, it doesn't bend. Right? This is another common sense. Yeah, so Sunday is my buffer. And then if I really study so well until Sunday, really nothing to do, then go and play basketball lah. That means even during exam time, I can go and play basketball. I can still go out with my mom to watch a movie. Right? Who say you must tolerate no movie, no games, no basketball until you finish your PSLE? I mean, I don't understand this kind of thinking. Just like those adults say, wow, I'm not going to travel. I'm going to save money until 65, then I go and travel. Who say that 65 you can travel? Right? I mean, touch wood lah. Maybe got stroke or don't know what kind of funny problem. And also travel this year, travel twice this year, travel twice next year, travel twice. You know, I mean, not this year lah, COVID-19. Yeah, but you know, metaphorically speaking, learn to schedule yourself in so that you get to do what you want to do even during exam time. God give us 24 hours per day, 7 days per week. Use it well. Use it well. I don't believe in people 7 days study without basketball, without games on. I don't believe that person will be more productive than me in my brain. It is impossible. The human brain was not built like that, where you study. You know, there's called marginal utility, right?
Yeah.
It's like a durian buffet in Goodwood Park. Like you eat, the first 20 minutes, quite short. Or by the 1 hour, you very zila already. Like, you want to vomit out durian. Yeah.
Very
so
full already.
Yeah. Learn to pace yourself. You know, have breaks in between, do something you love, go for a snack, and then every time you open up your textbook, absorb. If not, you know, you open up for very long, you fall asleep, then like might as well don't study. Okay, so there's schedule. Are you ready to go through M?
Yes, so just a recap for scheduling is more like also to break it down into bite size as well as preparing for contingency. I mean, just in case if something happened or a crisis or like someone got, if the person is unwell, so always have a backup plan with a backup day lah, just in case.
Yeah.
Okay.
And be flexible with your schedule depending on what your child is like lah. Right? If your child is the kind really sleep a lot one, then let him sleep first lah. Why must do finish homework then go to nap? I mean,
Already doze off.
Counterintuitive.
Yeah.
If you need a nap, go and nap. What's wrong with you? Really, you cannot understand. Okay, so that's schedule. Let's talk about M. Motivation. Okay, so motivation, there is the wrong kind of motivation, right? Like if you don't score above 90, I cane you, I tell you. Yeah, that's
Or don't come home.
don't come home. I don't want to see your face if you score below 80. Wow. I don't know
Even
what
right
to
now,
say.
I still get some sharing from some kids. Yeah.
Or their parents threaten them.
Sounds like a threat. I mean, it may not be a threat per se, but it sounds like a threat. Yeah.
Very, very sad. Okay, so the motivation must be intrinsic, not extrinsic. Okay, so intrinsic motivation means the child himself can think of why he wants to study hard. And it's not because to please my mommy. You know, if you want to please mommy to study hard, it may work for PSLE. I don't think it's going to work for O-levels. Yeah, so if you want your child to be successful for a long, long time, not just during PSLE, then right now need to learn how to motivate your child using intrinsic. Okay, so what is intrinsic?
Yep.
That means with or without you, your child still wants to do well. Extrinsic means the moment you leave his room, go kitchen, cook something, he's like playing game already. That's called extrinsic, right? You can imagine if our government is very extrinsic, then all of us are afraid of fines, so we don't litter. Then we go to Johor, wow, litter, speed, Yeah, that means actually we are not a very responsible person to start with. Yeah, we're just afraid of jail and fines. Not exactly the kind of person we want to become. So if you don't want to become the kind of person, don't make your child into this kind of person. Okay, intrinsic motivation. So how? Yeah, I think primary 6 is a bit late. So if you're primary 4, primary 5, have a proper conversation with your child, right? Nothing beats a conversation. Why do you want to study hard? And then your child say, because you like it, lor. I say, okay, what if mommy doesn't like it? Mommy wants you to study very badly. Mommy wants you to fail. Then are you going to fail? Say, why would mommy want me to fail? Say, yeah, because mommy pass what? Your failure nothing to do with me. What? So why would you want to pass? It's not for mommy. Yeah, then the child have to say something, right? And sometimes some child are immediately like, oh, of course, I want to do well in my job next time, blah, blah, blah. And some child slower lah. Oh, why? Maybe I shouldn't study. Yeah, so, but no matter what, don't cut short the process. Really coach the child until the child gets it like, oh, no wonder I need to study hard. Right? Anyway, at the end of the day, we all know the real motivation comes from options. The child needs to know that he has more options in life. If he wants to be YouTuber, he wants to be lawyer, he wants to be celebrity, he wants to be coder, he wants to be whatever, then he needs to study hard because there's options. The moment you don't study hard, then you are only left with maybe a few dumping ground options. Not that these people will not do well in life. We've seen many people who drop out of school still do very well. But at least now, while you can study, then why drop out of school? Right? Yeah, so expand your option. Okay, unless there's learning disability, that's a separate conversation. Yeah, but if it's a normal child, then coach your child to lead to the conclusion where, oh, I want more freedom and options in my life, and therefore I need to study as much as possible. Like, for example, I hate maths and science, but I still get A's in maths and science, so that next time if I didn't want to study mass comm or banking, I could have studied engineering if I wanted to. Yeah, so now with all the options in front of me, I can pick. Should I pick law, mass comm, engineering? So in the end, I pick mass comm. Yeah. Okay, so this is called options. Okay, intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is threats. I already said that already. Yeah, the other more subtle kind of extrinsic motivation is bribe. Okay, if you score 270 for your PSLE, mommy bring you to Tokyo Disneyland. This may seem quite positive, right? At least it's not threatening. Unfortunately, psychology has proven to us that this will not be sustainable because the human need is insatiable, right? Where we always want more. So this year you promise Tokyo Disneyland, then Sec 1 exam you want to promise what? South Africa safari. Yeah. And then Sec 2 exam, you promise what? Go to planet Mars. You know, it's like, then you might as well just go bankrupt. Lah. Yeah, just keep bribing your child forever. Lah. And then next time start work already, first job. Then the parents still want to be there. Say, if you get promotion, I will do this for you. You think they care? Yeah, so I think bribery may work short term. If it's really emergency situation, like your child never study for 5 years, now, next week PSLE, then I think a bit emergency situation. Okay, have to use carrot. Yeah, but if still got time, then don't do that. Yeah, really coach the child to find what's his intrinsic motivation. Here's a short story. There is a pair of hooligans in my neighborhood, okay? Very noisy, like, every time bang on the dustbin, bang, 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 bang. And they like to bang on the dustbin after 11 p.m. Everybody hates them, right? So they call the police upon them, but they run away, and then they come back the next day, do the same thing. So one day, my neighbor, who is a psychology professor, went down. And he said, hey, come, boy, I love the way you play drum. I would like to pay you, okay, $50 per person to play drum for 1 hour on our dustbin. Can? And then the two hooligans go like crazy, man. Right, I'm willing to do for free, but now you want to pay me. Okay lah, free money, why not? So took the $50 and bang, 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 bang. And then the wife of the psychology professor think he go bonkers already. Like, what are you doing? You're trying to get rid of them. Why you go and pay them to play drum? Yeah, and then the second day, the professor went down again. Said, hey, yesterday, well done. Right, you played for 1 hour. So I'm going to give you $100 this time. $100 to play drum. But this time, you only need to play for half an hour. Okay? $100. Wow, easy money. Get double the pay half the time. Why not? Okay, bang, 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 half an hour later, they are gone. The third day, the professor came and said, I'm very, very sorry, my wife gambles a lot, and then now we have lost all money. I cannot pay you anymore. But can you please do me a favor? Please continue to play drum. Crazy old man, you don't pay me, you think I want to play drum? Go home already.
It sounds like reverse psychology.
Something like that.
Yeah.
The professor has effectively replaced their intrinsic motivation, which is basically just to make fun, right? And make a mess, with extrinsic motivation. And now it can't reverse back already. Right? It's very, very dangerous. The moment you replace a child's natural desire to excel and curiosity with external bribes and threats, it's very, very hard to reverse back. Okay, so if you haven't threatened yet, haven't bribed yet, don't do it. So that's motivation. So S and M. How about A? Ready? A. Active learning. Okay. I suspect I have ADHD. It is undiagnosed. Yeah, but I mean, even as an adult, 44 years old, I cannot sit still. I purposely choose this career because I can fly around the world, speak in different companies. I cannot sit still. And as a child, I couldn't sit still. Right? I was playing basketball in art club, social studies, geography club. I was like all over the place. So I cannot sit still. And I realized that I need to take advantage of that. Some parents are so frustrated that their child cannot sit still. A bit strange. It's like your child is born with left-hander, and some parents force their right hand to write. Do you know parents like that?
I mean, I have heard of stories like that.
I just find it very weird. Your child is left-hander lah. Yo, why must you force the right hand to do work? Yeah, so I just find it sad that sometimes we don't respect nature. We don't respect God. We just want to play God. We want to force people to be who we want them to be rather than who they should be. It's like your child is a fish. I say, I want you to climb a tree. And then of course a fish cannot climb a tree. It's stupid this fish cannot climb a tree. Well, you let him go in the river and he will excel. So as a parent, as an educator, we need to learn. Is our child a fish or a monkey? Right? Don't misdiagnose your child. So if your child is active, like a monkey, then learn actively. So what do I mean by learn actively? Okay, I talk to myself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I take my textbook, walk around the room, and I start talking. It's like, hey, children, today I'm here to teach you about algebra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, algebra is very simple. You know, I mean, thankfully my mother understands me. If not, she would have brought me to Woodbridge, you know, at that time. What is this child studying for PSLE, walking around in circle and talking to himself? And if she forced me, say, sit down and keep quiet, disturb the whole family, then I tell you, I wouldn't get 270. But because I was learning actively, right, walking around, and then sometimes into the kitchen, sometimes into the living room, and then talking to the mirror, talking to myself, sometimes scolding some fictional children, like, hey, like that also don't know, stupid are you? Come, let me repeat this formula to you again. Yeah, so this is called active learning. And through the process, I remember a lot better than trying to sit down and stare at the textbook. Okay, so that's active learning strategy number one.
Sure. Sorry, just a quick one,
Yes.
because I'm looking at my Zoom account. Even though I made host, I think the recording is still on your side.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah! Ah!
You want to just do a quick check in your Zoom account?
Do a quick check.
Yeah, under recordings, yeah, it should be saying like processing or something.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
That means go. You mean go into Zoom or go into my folder?
Go into a Zoom account, because I actually click on record in clouds.
Oh, my cloud no space one.
Yeah, but I think Zoom being Zoom, they will still record just in case.
Okay, I need Zoom tutorial. I don't even know how to go into my Zoom account.
Okay. Um. Okay, I'll just send you the link.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, because I think what you're sharing is awesome. I mean, it's really bring the kids on a journey of really planning
Thank you.
in advance. Yeah.
And then recording. Okay. Coach John, processing recording.
Okay, so is it okay later you can just send me the file?
Yes, of course. Let me delete the rest first.
Can.
I don't know whether I got enough space.
Can. Okay, parents, this is a pre-recorded session, and the reason why I do a quick check-in is because you realize that it's almost impossible to get someone who's got 270 to come and share live, because most of them will be keeping it as a secret. Yeah, so just want to make sure that all these are really go out to the kids who are now preparing for their PSLE. And I think just to buy some time for us while we are meddling with the technical stuff, as you hear from Eugene share, right, I think the funny thing is a lot of times when we want to do well, we'll be asking for how do you do well for maths? What are the tips for maths? Or how do you do well for science? Or what books to buy? But I think I just want parents to take notes that whatever you're sharing right now is on a higher level, and it is very much more similar to personal development of an adult, and it's the same thing for a child as well. Yeah, so all these are good habits. Yeah, so if your child is still young and not taking PSLE yet, what you can do is really help your child to develop good study habits by following his SMART. And I almost wanted to say SMRT.
And no sponsorship here.
Yeah, sorry. We don't get sponsored from them. I mean, it'll be nice. Maybe we can change to SMRT. Then we can ask them, hey, we mentioned SMRT here. Then can you help us or not?
Good idea. I think there's a company called Smart also. You go and contact them and ask them to sponsor.
Yeah, that one I will need your help.
Okay, so that's active.
Sure that the recording is on your side.
Yes, it's recording.
I learned something new. It's always something new for me.
Oh, you mean the Zoom?
Yeah, and I thought it's always like, oh, if I click on record, it'll be on my side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Strange. Never mind. Okay.
Don't worry. Okay, active.
Yes,
so
yes.
Active learning is walking around and talking is active. By the way, tutoring people is active, right? So if you are in primary 6, and you are tutoring a primary 5 student, maybe a poor student, and then or you're just being kind. If you have sibling, even better. Tutor your own sibling. This tutoring actually reinforces your learning. Yeah, I mean, as a tutor yourself, I think you agree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the third way is writing. Yeah.
Mm.
Some I think most kids like to draw. Most. Yeah, some don't like, but most like to draw because it's more fun than writing for sure. So I think, drawing mind maps, take like put almost like art and class, art and craft, right? You put all the magic ink in front of you. You can choose 20 different color, and then as you flip through the textbook, you are drawing your mind map.
Mm.
And at the end of, I mean, like one day before your exam, you're not studying the textbook lah. I mean, who go and study the textbook one day before exam? I'm very shocked when I see my classmates studying textbook the day before exam.
Wow.
I'm thinking like, are you kidding me?
Wrong direction.
Yeah, wrong method. Right, you should have been studying your textbook all these months and then concising them into some kind of study cards, right?
Mm.
Any shape, form, or size you want, but it should be
Mm.
your knowledge. It's not the textbook knowledge, which is very different. I feel that schools sometimes should have a competition on study notes.
A good idea. See whose one is the more creative one.
Yeah. Hey, your center can run a competition.
Yeah.
See who has better study notes. Yeah.
I mean, I can share a bit from my experience. I actually ran a contest, or even just encourage the PSLE kids to do notebook. Yeah, but the response is not very good. I mean, those kids want to do, they do it because of intrinsic motivation. But a lot of times, I also hear some feedbacks from the parents say that actually, is it a waste of time? I mean, I rather my kid go and read the textbook. Yeah, so I think, I mean, it's a lot of times that we think that this is really a proven method, but I think somehow as adults we may be misinformed as well, and we may be giving the wrong advice to our kids. So I don't push but I really can see those kids who really do their notebook. Wow, now they are so good in such a sense that they have their own math resource book which is customized for their PSLE needs. And these are the kids who did very well for the prelim.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a lifelong skill.
Yep.
I mean, how many times does your child need to learn? The entire lifetime, right? Go for training, go for MBA, PhD, skills future, whatever. Like if they don't know how to make notes, then you dare to let your child go into the society. There's something wrong already. Yeah, I think most people, as a life coach and a corporate trainer, right?
Yep.
It is very, very frustrating. Many people have tunnel vision. They like to look at their own KPI, their own little test, and then miss the entire picture. They say, actually this skill is more important than actually passing the exam. But they think passing the exam more important than the skill. And then they're still wondering, hey, how come my child at 35 still staying in my house, not married, jump from job to job, because of what you did to him when he was primary 5 and 6, no? Very simple. This is called self-sabotage parent. Okay, so that is active learning. I mean, just active learning alone can run a 3-hour webinar already.
Yep.
Yeah, but for now, I will just give some hints, like, talking out loud, tutoring someone in need, and drawing mind maps using a lot of colors. Some like black and white, then use black and white. Yeah, just customize the approach to the child. I highly doubt that any child likes to sit down and stare at the textbook so far. I really don't think so. In fact, if they like to tear out pages and stick out of the wall, I will allow them to do so.
Yeah.
Right. As long as he can learn, right? It's like, hey, it is very rude to tear out your pages from the book. According to who? Rude according to who? Kim Jong-un? Lee Kuan Yew? Like, this book, it will be recycle bin right after PSLE already. Like, what rude? I'll just tear, fold, or cut out, like, like kidnapping case like that. And then just paste. Wow, and then like police investigator, wow, use string. Wow, so fun, right? The whole room full of PSLE notes. Active learning.
Yeah, so it sounds like these are the different ways to learn and also yes, the ways to present the knowledge. I mean, for the longest time, we have been taught how to open up the textbooks and we read. But nowadays, there are so many other alternative methods. And even children they are learning in advance as well by watching the YouTube videos of the topics. So when they go for classes, their mind is already expanded much more beyond what is being covered in the scope of the textbook.
3 years ago, I had to take exam at the age of 41. 4 financial exams, in order to be a financial consultant. Well, my brain like long time never take exam, Yeah. And then you know what I did? Because there's no time to read the entire textbook. I just take the mock paper. No, that one is other people's book. So I had to take mock paper and do. Imagine I didn't read anything yet and I do mock paper. Sure fail, confirm fail, right? So the moment I fail, then I feel motivated to find out the correct answer. Then I start doing one more time, and this time for the questions that I got wrong, I go to the correct page and see what's the correct answer. Then I wrote down. And sometimes I don't understand, so I reread the chapter a little bit. Right. So I realized this reverse method, right? Anyway, I passed off the first time. And then I have friends who fail the same 4 financial exams, and they tell me they go and read the textbook.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is the value of actively learning, not passively learning.
Yeah. I think I just want to drop a quick note for parents. I mean, sometimes when our child doesn't do well for certain subjects, I think a lot of times I hear from the adults like, oh, my child is poor in maths or poor in science. But it could be just a wrong tactic use or wrong strategy use. Yeah. So sometimes if you just reverse it or tweak it to match your child's learning style, everything will fall into place.
Yes, learning style. Okay, so active. Let's go to R. R stands for reward. I'm not talking about bribes, reward. That means the child himself must be able to reward himself after every chapter. Okay, let's keep it interactive. John, how would you reward yourself after every chapter?
Okay, I haven't taken an exam for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, maybe after a long day of work. Okay, my reward very simple one. I like to drink tea. So I'll go to the prata shop and they will know what I want, which is teh tarik last week. That's all. Yeah, and then I'll feel very happy, and then I will just watch people walk past, and I'll talk to the staff there, and we always have a good laugh.
Wonderful. Very good example. Yeah. So for me, I will, for example, watch a half an hour sitcom, like Friends or Smurf or whatever. Yeah. And that half an hour, I'll feel very refreshed, like, wow, so fun. And then go back to my books or go downstairs for a walk. Like mini reward, not go to Tokyo Disneyland, Yeah, it can be like continue. Let's say some kids really love reading, like Harry Potter, or don't know what book is trendy nowadays. And then continue reading, right? You study one chapter and then go to read one chapter Harry Potter. Study another chapter science and go and read another chapter Harry Potter. Right? This is called reward. And some kids love to eat. By the way, I was obese when I was in primary 6.
Really? Yeah. You look so fit now.
I'm still obese now, but maybe the angle of the Zoom is quite nice. Yeah. I was really like obese. As a primary 6 kid, it was obviously I was obese. People call me Apui. Yeah, and then they were like, a lot of bullies. Yeah, and the reason why I was obese is because I keep eating. So when I study, I don't just study one chapter. Maybe I study 3 chapters and reward myself. So I was like, go and eat chocolate, eat ice cream, like feel very good, like yay. Yeah, so this is called reward yourself. And don't confuse it for bribe. Bribe is when the parents try to reward the child. Right? The child should reward himself. Then this called delayed gratification, by the way. Right, there's a very famous TED Talk which I encourage every parent to go and watch. Okay, it's by Angela Duckworth.
Yeah.
And the title is called Grit. Very good. Yeah, I think every educator should go and watch also. Grit. Yeah. And since you watched before, you tell us what does grit? What does grit mean?
Wow, it has been a long time since I last watched. But I watched it twice. Yeah, I think for me, my interpretation was I think a lot of times we want the child to learn to be resilient.
Yes.
Yeah, I think grits based in my own context, it means like kids being able to bounce up fast after failures. Yeah, and I think it really go against how most adults bring up their kids. I mean,
Yes.
even for myself, when I was younger, my dad doesn't allow me to fail. Yeah, and I was punished for my mistake and not getting the A star.
Wow.
Yeah. So I get smacking from him and using his hands. Yeah,
Wow.
which is even
Wow.
worse than cane. Alamak. So now you brought me back down my shadows of my childhood lah. Yeah,
Your
but
traumatic childhood. Yeah.
yeah. But I think back to the kids, it's really different words in my own vocab lah will be fail forward, bounce up fast, yeah, and then also learning from mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that brings us to T.
Yeah.
Tenacity.
Mm.
Yeah. So R and T actually links quite closely. When you are willing to sacrifice for 2 hours studying those 3 chapters, so that you get a good reward at the end of those 2 hours, you know, that is like the marshmallow experiment, where you're willing not to eat the marshmallow in your plate now, so that at the end of 2 hours, somebody gives you 5 marshmallows. And Angela Duckworth has proven to us that kids who do that, who are willing to have a 先苦后甜 approach, right? Yeah, over the next 25 years, they succeed in their life. They have better job, better family, and all that. Kids who cannot wait on, like, now I must eat the marshmallow. Like, now I must play basketball. Now I must watch TV show. Now I must play computer game. You know, as long as we don't get rid of this child forever, even if PSLE due to going to a lot of tuition, get 270, he will still fail one. Yeah, because the grit is not in him. That is the key ingredient for success in human beings. Yeah. So you can see how reward and tenacity links. So tenacity is the ability to continue forward regardless of how many times you fail. And this one is beyond PSLE already. Yeah.
Yep.
So as parents, we should look beyond PSLE. Let's say, for some strange reason, this year PSLE, the maths very difficult, or science very difficult, or there's some, you know, every year got this kind of thing one. And they will go into forum, go into those Facebook group and complain. It's like, wow, look how stupid question is this? 10 series don't have one. Right? Then okay lor. I mean, now that you know, we have learned something, right? Just like in our entire life, never heard of COVID-19. So now that we know, so we know, oh, wow, online very important. You know, if I run online business right from day one, then this year I am untouchable and unstoppable. Yeah, but because I was running brick and mortar all these years, then wow, this year I had to suffer a few months. So this is called data collection. So every failure is data collection, which is why just now you mentioned the word fail forward, right? Every time you fail, start to do post-mortem. Like, hey, what happened? Was it because I spent too much time on this? Is it because I used the wrong method? Is it, you know, so this evaluation is very, very important. The younger we do it, the better actually. You know, as a child, let's say if some parents are watching this and you have a 3-year-old child, 4-year child, 5-year child, like cannot wait until PSLE, like do it now. You know, create environments for the child to fail. I mean, 4 years old, 5 years old won't fail very horribly things lah, right? I give you an example, like school bag. Most parents like to check, like, oh, hey, you forgot to bring eraser, like, hey, pencil never sharpen. I really want to cry for the child. If you are double checking all the time and then the child go to school always with the perfect order in the bag, how will the child learn? The child needs to feel pain. The child needs to go to school without a sharpened pencil, without an eraser, forgetting to bring something. Then there is a sense of failure. And that kind of feeling very important. It's like our body collecting germs, you know, information, virus information. Then our body can learn how to code itself for immunity. And so we need the child to fail in small things. Then next time the child knows, oh, tomorrow I better check my eraser. And if your child is somehow quite slow, need to fail 5 times, then finally get it, then let him fail 5 times lah.
Mm.
It's only kindergarten what. Right? So this is a good habit to acquire from day one. And this is just basic things like checking back.
Yep.
Non-basic things is like if you bring the child to clean the toilet of an elderly lady, or sell lemonade to raise funds for cancer, and then the child at the age of 7 or 8 realize, hey, mommy, nobody wants to buy my lemonade. That's called fail forward. Then you ask the child, what can you do differently so that people will buy your lemonade? Right? Go and observe other lemonade stores, they say, oh, we need a poster. 丢了啦. Right? And start to draw a poster. Then still nobody buy, or only one person buy. You say, oh, is there something you can do with your poster? Oh, the font size very small, nobody can see. Right? So this is called fail forward.
Like a post-mortem.
Yeah. But without the conducive environment, the child will never even learn that, oh, he needs to do marketing, he needs to sell lemonade, and the lemonade too sweet, not sweet enough, do testing, negotiate prices. All these things the child never learn until the child becomes 25 years old, first time do B2B sales in IT software, then fail. This is one of the greatest sin a parent can make. Your child should have learned all this when they were 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. And now at the age of 25, they fail in their job because of you. So I highly suggest tenacity, and that's the last of the 5, should be in every family. We should always create environments for our child to fail. And when they fail, we do post-mortem, and then they learn. And then we encourage, say, next one, definitely it will be better. And then the child knows that, failure is nothing, like sweep across, and won't get depressed, suicidal, or anything like that.
Thanks for sharing so much. Yeah. At the same time, I think that, in my opinion, it may not be that the parents do not know. I think if you look at the society as a whole, I think even in the working world, there's so much similarities going on. Like we are less patient towards people who make mistakes. Yeah, I mean, looking at the offices with good and healthy work cultures, actually only very few companies have that as well. Yeah, so what will you say to parents who know all this, but they are just basically sucked into the vortex of being the same as any other parents, and they're trying to get out of the system in their own home. So where can they start?
They need to look for Eugene Seah for coaching.
Yeah. So how can they? I mean, it's true. Yes. They need to look for a coach if they are open to coaching, because even in the working space, you have supervisors who coach you as well. I mean,
yes,
you need someone to teach us some things that we don't know. Yeah. But family, before they look for you, ne?
No, look for me. Look for EugeneSeah.com. EugeneSeah.com.
Okay.
Because I tell you, I mean, it's not just me lah. Look for any coach. Okay, look for any coach. We need coach. I mean, your coach John, I'm Coach Eugene. We need a coach in our life.
Correct.
And that is called a shortcut. Of course, you can go through hardship lah. That's another way to learn, right? That means as the parents, they have no awareness, they are sucked into the system, and they remain like that for 10 years. I guarantee you there will be some kind of negative consequence. Like me, I was stuck into the system for years, climbing the corporate ladder, then I lost my job. So that's called a negative consequence. And if I did not lose my job in 2013, maybe I'll lose my job this year, right? So many people lose their job this year. Yeah, so that means at some point, there will be a negative consequence that will hit this guy who did not wake up and did not change. Same as health. I mean, you can smoke all you want, eat French fries all you want. At some point, nature will find you. Right? You will get some kind of sickness. So some people are willing to change their health regime before the sickness. Some people need to wait until the sickness comes before they change their health regime. And some people like die on the spot, like no chance to change their health regime. Right? So it is up to every parent who is watching this right now. Do you want to be the preventive kind? Then look for a coach. Or you want to wait for something tragic to happen to you or your child, then you just let nature take its course to teach you a lesson. Or you want to wait until everything is too late and you regret it's your life, no one else can control you.
Mm. What will you say to people who say, yeah, all these it won't happen to me, and it wouldn't happen to me?
Then wait for nature to take its course. Yeah. I mean, I am a Christian and I believe you reap what you sow. And for Buddhists, they believe in karma. Whatever religion you are in, you believe in some kind of fairness in the system, right? If there's no fairness, why are we good? Why are we charitable? Why are we kind? if unkind people become rich, become happy, go to heaven, then we should all go around stabbing each other, politicking, and then shouting vulgarities, right? Yeah, so there's a reason why even free thinkers are so kind to each other, right? We somehow believe in a fair system whereby we will become better if we treat our child better, if we treat our spouse better. Yeah, so if you say people don't want to change, then believe that karma will catch up with you at some point. Do you have any other solution that I may not have thought of?
No idea. Yeah, just live our own life lah. And I mean, there's a saying that we can bring the horse to the water or the pond, but we cannot force it to drink lah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we do what we want, but at the end of the day, it's up to the person as an individual to take it or to leave it. And all of us got our own choices lah. So if you think that this works for you, you take it. If you think that parts of it works for you, you tweak it. Yeah. If not, you just put it down and then it's okay. There's no need to be rude. Just find something else that can help you, no?
I mean, as a coach, we know there are people who are uncoachable. Yeah, and I'm not here to change the world. I'm here to change coachable lives. So if they are not coachable at this moment, then I'll just focus on people who are coachable. And for example, children is the same thing. Like my son, 16 years old, is a little bit difficult. Okay, so I know maybe his time hasn't come. At 18, maybe he'll become a very mature, different person. Maybe need to wait until 21. I don't know. But one day he'll be coachable. Just not right now. Yeah. So right now, I will focus on other people. Let him maybe fail his O-levels or something. You can't twist somebody. Even your own child, you cannot twist. They have the individual decision-making facility.
Yeah, I think it's also to keep the mind open for possibilities.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, I think just before we end off, actually by right, we're supposed to only take half an hour. But
yes.
I think we are so like-minded. So end up so much to share. Yeah. Okay, parents, just before we wrap up, a quick story from me. When I was in P5, I was always in the best class, even in my primary school. But I didn't do so well in primary 6, in primary 5, which ended up in not a very good class. Yeah, but the story in P5 was when I went for my English oral, I got certain level of stage fright lah. So I was stumped, I was stuck. And my English teacher said out this sentence, "Why are you so hopeless?" Yeah, like first sentence out from his mouth. Wow. Yeah. But the funny thing is, in life, we never know what our higher being has in store for us. Then now I'm a trainer, I'm a speaker, just like you. We teach, and our mouth is our tool for our rice bowl, in a sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I judge myself or people define me who I was in P5, I think I don't think I will have made it today. Yeah, so do not let your history define who you are.
I love that. Very good. Yeah, just like my PSLE. I score 270 doesn't mean I'll be successful for life. Right? Because I still got retrenched, I still got jobless. Yeah. So a person can be up like 270 and still will come down. And a person can be down like retrenched and still can come up. So don't let your past define your future. Whether your past is success or failure does not matter.
Yeah, and I really like what you said, is to help the children to develop tools. And also when they are up there, we stay humble. When we are down there, the child has the tools to go up again. and be okay that because this is life, it's always up and down, up and down, up and down.
Tenacity.
Yeah. Okay, any last takeaway for parents who I mean, they really like what you say and probably a bit overwhelmed. So where can they start first? Before they find you lah. Before they find you.
They should meditate and pray, right? Take the SMART, sit down and reflect. How am I doing for scheduling? Am I helping my child schedule? And am I scheduling for my child and forcing him to adopt to it? Or do I sit down with him and ask him, hey, what time do you want to do your homework? What time do you want to play our game? So even the scheduling needs some reflection. Cannot just dump on our child. And am I motivating my child intrinsically, extrinsically? So this SMART is not a lecture, it is a reflection tool. Parents need to sit down and reflect, or even we discuss with your spouse. Say, hey, do you think we're motivating our child extrinsically or intrinsically? Right? Is he doing active learning? Does he know how to do active learning? Should we teach him how to do active learning? As parents, do we know how to do active learning? Yeah. So constantly reflect from the 5 parameters, and I'm very sure parents will have something to tweak in the way they approach the child, speak to the child.
Awesome. That's a nice way to wrap up. So parents, speak to your child and continue to bond with your child. Yeah, it's an everyday thing.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Eugene. Even though this is not live, but I think it feels like live because I really love your energy. I mean,
thank you.
Every time you talk, it's like you are talking to an audience of 1,000. Yeah, like your energy.
I like to talk to audience of 1,000. Yeah.
Okay, so thanks, parents. Anything else, you just go to eugeneseah.com. I mean, even if you don't choose him as your coach, but I think he's a nice guy to talk to lah. So you just go and talk to him and then
make a friend.
Yeah, because he has many friends. He really have many friends. And the funny thing is, all his friends like him because he's very knowledgeable. Really.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
If you happen to hear any friend who doesn't like me, be sure to text me.
Yeah. Please tag him. Tag. Yeah. So tag him and tag the friend who say this guy doesn't like you.
That one low
like
EQ
you already. Then you say no lah. Then you get another person who likes you. Okay, Ken. Thanks, Eugene. I'll stop right.
Hey, thank you, John.
Thanks.